Alright, welcome to another day of Soto Desperado Plays Star Wars The Old Republic. Let's see. Oh, I already missed that meeting. I missed another town hall. Jeez. Okay. Um. Yeah, I got this last time. It's pretty nice looking. Look at that. You got like these sickles on you. But the problem is that I can't even read what it does. It says plus something mastery, force. I can't read it. Force, speed, something. I don't know. So anyway, I put it in storage. I spent like a bunch of tech credits and regular credits to get it, but I'm not sure. I don't know what this is. It says a tanned leather outfit preferred by bounty hunters for as yeah, but look at the armor. It's got nothing. It's not modular or nothing. 18 armor. Who's going to wear that? Anyway. That's a discovery archaeology. Oh wait a minute, I have that. I think I have that. I have archaeology on this character. Yeah, that's not modular at all. I don't know why I'm getting all these weird weapons with shitty abilities. It's like bounty hunting shit. I'm not even doing any bounty hunting. Let's see what this is. Open pack. Oh. Wastelander's armor set. Open pack. So I got. It looks like I got a bunch of packs because I subscribe, but I'm only doing a little bit of subscription at a time. I got some of these armor sets already. I already got this. I think I got both of those armor sets already. Yeah, I got both of them. What is this? Oh, look at that. Well, that's a nice gun. I got something useful. Um, Alright, so I got a bunch of stuff there. Okay. This one, you have to have a different character. Yeah, I wonder if this is bound to me. It's bound to me, so I have to put it in storage, in my storage, for a while before I can transfer it over. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This is also bound to me. So I think I already have those armor sets. I'm like unlock for account. Lock. I'm so sure I had the Wastelanders locked in collections. I was so sure I have the Wastelanders armor set. I remember buying it. Maybe it was on a different server, but it should have. Ironclad Soldier. Oh, maybe I'm confusing that with this one, because it looks similar. See, I already had the cybernetic. I bought that a long time ago. Yeah, it looks like I don't have the Wasteland thing. Alright. So anyway, let's go back here. Is this all bound to me? Are you bound? This shouldn't be bound. Okay. Grade 10 schematics. That's bound to me. Sorry, I'm just doing some quick maintenance. It looks like I got a bunch of XP boosts, but I can't use them. I gotta see if I can get as much off of me as possible. Okay. No, that's bound to me as well. So it looks like these two things are bound to me. And this thing, put it there. And the rest of this crowd can stay there, except for this thing. There's a discovery. Oh, this is bioanalysis and bioanalysis. What the hell? Oh, okay. Well, so much for that. Alright, that's fine. Alright. So we got some of that stuff straightened out. One thing I want to do before I start, I'm going to start playing a video in the background. Well, as a matter of fact, let me do that now. I got Taylor the Fiend. Single mother lost control after being rejected publicly.
What is going on, guys? Got an absolutely crazy video for you here today titled Single Mother Loses Control After Being Rejected Publicly. So this is a woman who not only is a single mother, but also can't handle rejection whatsoever, and it's absolutely crazy what she does. Now, guys, today's video was suggested to me by MaverickMan101. I'm going to leave a link to his channel as well as the original video in the pinned comment. So make sure you go and subscribe to those guys, and let's just jump right into the nonsense.
I have a whole kid. And what? And what? And what?
I'm sorry you got a whole kid.
And what? And what? And what?
You gotta love, guys, how she literally just starts assaulting this guy, by the way. You know, she starts striking him, she gets aggressive. The friend is just standing there, like, giggling, like this is something that's funny. Also, I don't understand why all of these single mothers just have to be out partying, you know? Oh, I'm such a great mother. Meanwhile, they're just out here at the club trying to get attention from random dudes. It's completely ridiculous, man. It's completely and absolutely insane to me. Let's continue.
I never had someone get so upset and so mad because I told her, I was like, hey, I don't really date people with kids. I don't like people with kids. She blocked me, unmatched me on Hinge and everything. All right, so I was talking to this girl on Hinge a couple weeks ago, and I did do my settings for people that don't have kids. I did put that. For a preference for me, I prefer no one with kids. So I'm talking to this girl, we're having good conversation. Everything's good. We're texting for like 3 days, maybe 2 days, 3 days. We're texting 2 or 3 days. And then, you know, I'm asking her a bunch of, you know, shit that I should know. And I even told her, I was like, yo, tell me something that I wouldn't know about you. Kids never came up in this. One day we were talking, and then she told me, she was like, hey, yeah, I do want to mention something to you. Or she said, I want to run something by you. And I said, okay. She's like, I do have a daughter, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. I hope.
Oh my goodness. Oh my. So not only, let me get this straight, this dude put in his profile, by the way, that he wasn't interested in dating single mothers. And then, okay, let's just say for a moment, maybe she didn't notice. Maybe she didn't understand, or she didn't see it, right? Like, I don't know, she didn't see it on the profile for whatever reason, and so she didn't notice. Why would you then wait multiple days to say that you have a child, or at the very least, not just put it on your profile? This is not some small deal, okay? I'm so sick of men being women will try and gaslight dudes into this nonsense of like, oh yeah, you know what? I have a 4-year-old, but it's not that big of a deal. What do you mean it's not that big of a deal? That changes absolutely everything, guys. You can have a woman who is very good on paper. The moment she has a child, nope, sorry, not interested. I think a lot of men are the same way. This, to me, guys, like, he's being polite about it. He's saying that it's a preference. To be honest, I think this is just a standard that pretty much all men should have. Men can do whatever the hell they want, but me personally, guys, nope. I'm not taking care of another man's kids. It's not happening.
That's okay. And I'm just like, fuck. I'm like, hey, like, I get it. You have a daughter. I respect that. I said, hey, but at the end of the day, I wish you would have put that on your profile, because I have my settings set to where it says no kids. Like, I prefer people with no kids. I'm not lying. This girl goes the fuck off on me. Like, she starts like sending me long paragraphs and telling me all kinds of crazy stuff. She starts telling me like I'm not a real man because I wouldn't step up to the plate if a girl had a kid and I really liked her, this, that, and the third. And I'm like,
it has nothing to do with whether he is a real man or not. This is his preference.
Yeah, see, this is the exact kind of shaming language that I'm talking about, okay? Is that apparently this is this is what makes a real man, okay? Getting out here and taking care of kids that are not his own. No, this does not make a real man. And I love how she just goes off on this dude, sending him paragraphs and things like this. Guys, I'll just say this. If somebody starts sending me paragraphs and like, just walls of text, I'm not reading it. It's not being read. I'm sorry. Just speak concisely, okay? But this woman just goes off on him, does like the whole paragraphs with texting, and as far as I can tell, this dude was also polite about it, man. Technically, he's the one that kind of got wronged in this situation. He's being polite about it, and yet he's hit with this wall of text of this woman being pissed off at him because he won't date her. When did it become men's responsibility to take care of kids and things that are not their own? It's so stupid, man. So stupid. If you're a dude, please don't get shamed into trying to look after a kid that is not your own. And you can tell, by the way, why this woman is single. Huge red flag having a kid by yourself to begin with, but immediately the awful personality comes out. Immediately.
I don't know why some people think their preference is the one that matters. Somehow they believe that others shouldn't have their own. But this is not how things work.
The fuck? I'm like, hang on for a second. You have certain preferences or a certain type of guy that you like, and if I didn't fit that criteria, you wouldn't be talking to me. I'm pretty sure if I was 5'8", 5'9", she wouldn't be talking to me. She just started going off on me, and then all I did, I sent the thumbs up emoji. I think that it made her even more pissed off.
Wait, so this woman did her whole spiel where she sent him like these, huge long paragraphs getting pissed off at him. And then he pulled like the classic dad move. I call this the dad move where you just send back a thumbs up. You guys have dads out there, right? And then you send them something important, right? So it's become a meme at this point. And they'll just send you back a thumbs up no matter what it is. It could be the worst news. It could be the best news. And dads will just send you the thumbs up. This is what that reminds me of. This dude's like, yeah, okay, cool. He sends back the thumbs up. And of course, this just aggravates the woman even more, guys, because what they want to do is they want to bait you into this huge, long argument where now you're both sending text messages back and forth that are really long. I can't be bothered doing this. I think this is just a waste of time. But you already know how mad she got when he just sent back a thumbs up. That's so funny to me.
At this point, I don't even care.
I don't understand why people don't respect boundaries. I have a kid, and I don't want to date someone with kids. I have 2, and I'd prefer no kids. Mine are enough for me. Don't want bonuses.
Yeah, so on top of this, by the way, people, again, they just assume that men should date single mothers. Why should a guy go and date a woman who not only has a kid that you're probably going to have to take care of, but also, like, a lot of these women don't even want to have any more kids. So if you're a dude who wants to have a family, you want to have something serious, you're looking for a wife or a girlfriend, not only is it incredibly embarrassing to marry a woman that has children, in my opinion, but a lot of them don't want to have kids. So if you want to have a family of your own, you don't really get to have a family of your own. You see what I'm saying? So the men just lose out on so many fronts simultaneously by doing this to themselves.
We all have our preferences. I have no kids and prefer a man with no kids, period. But it's hard to find. As a mom, I wouldn't date anyone who doesn't have kids. 2 different worlds. You're not wrong.
I'm like, hang on for a second. You have certain preferences or a certain type of guy that you like, and if I didn't fit that criteria, you wouldn't be talking to me.
He is completely correct. She wouldn't give him a chance if he didn't match what she was looking for. So I don't understand why she was getting upset when he opened up about his preference. We have seen countless clips where women stated what they want, and usually we accept it. When they state that a guy must be in a certain financial bracket or at a certain height, we don't complain about it, as we understand that it's just her preference.
And the funny thing is, guys, is men don't even complain about the things that we have zero control over. We just want it to be a little bit fair, okay? If women say that they don't want a dude who's, he has to be a particular height, fine, whatever. But don't be surprised when men have their own standards. You see what I don't think a lot of guys actually particularly give a damn. But the problem comes when women have all of these standards, right? All of these things that they look for in men, but then men aren't allowed to have any standards in return, right? Oh, okay, you want a dude who's over 6 foot and who makes this amount of money. Completely fine. I want the woman who can cook and who has no children. And then people just lose their marbles over a comment like that, guys. Like, again, the dudes are not allowed to have any preferences because apparently it's just, it's just bad, it's oppressive, you don't like women and so on. I'm actually surprised that the people in this comment section of this particular video took it so well. Usually the women get really pissed off about that, and I think this is TikTok, so I'm actually surprised the women handled that better than I expected.
Because I have my settings set to where it says no kids, like I prefer people with no kids.
This is something she shouldn't ignore. Based on his preference, she knew she wouldn't qualify for what he was looking for. So why was she still willing to pursue him? Now she believes that he is wrong for having that preference, but I bet she thinks that her preferences are perfectly normal.
Yeah, you know what's wrong, in my opinion? jumping on dating applications as a single mother. I see videos all the time, guys, like of single mothers sitting there going, oh, why is it so hard to raise a kid by yourself? And all of this kind of thing. The world absolutely sucks. And the reason why it's so difficult is because you shouldn't be doing it by yourself. You should have chosen the biological father of your child correctly. If he's a deadbeat dad, you know what I'm saying? Why on earth are you going out there and having kids with dudes out of wedlock or just by accident and crap like this with men who clearly are not interested in committing to you, for example? It's just insane. They go out here, they make these terrible decisions, and then they jump on dating applications. You shouldn't be on dating applications.
I don't know if she knows about it, but a lot of people who don't have kids prefer to date those who are also childless. Again, it comes down to what they want, and all we have to do is respect it. She needs to find those who wouldn't mind. That's the group she should keep her focus on, instead of trying to push her way in on someone who is looking for things she no longer can provide.
I have a whole kid. And what? And what? And what?
I'm sorry you got a whole kid.
And what? And what? And what? And what? And what? Okay then.
Who the fuck wants to be with somebody like that?
I just want to pause it here for a second, guys. Like, let's just break down this clip for a second, okay? So this woman's up in this dude's face. She's getting physical. You know, she goes to, like, hit him in the face, shoves him and everything like this. Number one, notice how this is what I'm talking about, man. Notice how in the background there's a couple over there or something, right? There's a dude, there's a woman. None of these, nobody intervenes. Right? Nobody says crap. They just sit there and they just watch shit happen. Imagine if the genders were reversed here and you had a dude doing the same thing. I guarantee you people would be stepping in off of the sidewalk. They'd be, you know, intervening, making things happen. But because it's a dude, number one, nobody cares. That's the insane part. Guys, it's so insane to me that crap like this can happen and we're just expected to take it as a dude. I wouldn't hold it against this guy whatsoever if he retaliated. If women want to get up in your face, to be honest, guys, I don't think that they, you know, if they get hit with reality one day, I don't particularly care. They shouldn't be doing this to people. So that's the first thing. Nobody cares. They're just spectating and watching. Second of all, notice what this guy has to do. He has to completely put his hands back. He has to, you know, make it so he's not displaying any aggression whatsoever, because this guy knows, right? Men understand this stuff. You can't retaliate as a man because you're the one who's going to get in trouble. There are plenty of situations out there, guys, where women are doing awful things to men. Okay? The dude's like, call the police or something, and then the police just rock up on the guy. Right? Because the women will be in tears. Oh, he did this, he did that. And like you as the dude, you're likely to get in trouble. So you have to do this completely, you know, no retaliation, passive thing, and just deal with the fact that somebody's essentially assaulting you. It's completely ridiculous to me, guys. Like, again, look at these people. These people in the background here, you guys can't see my mouse, okay? But those people in the background would be intervening. I guarantee you it, if the genders were reversed here. Insane.
Okay then.
And she wonders why he don't want her. She should not be upset. It takes a grown man to take a responsibility that doesn't in actuality belong to him. At least he was honest. She was just upset because he doesn't want to take care of a kid he didn't make.
Wait. He should not be upset. It takes a grown man to take a responsibility. Oh my goodness. If I had $1 every single time, guys, that I saw a woman try and claim that it was like, you're not a grown man unless you take responsibility of a kid that's not yours, holy hell, I would have a lot of dollars. You see the laugh reacts, by the way, to this comment. I believe this is Facebook, right? She's trying to phrase it like a grown men are the ones who take care of children and not their own. Like, I'm so confused, man. These women are hopeless, completely hopeless. And then what she tries to do, but she tries to make herself sound reasonable, okay? So in here, we're trying to phrase it like it takes a grown man to look after a kid that's not your own. But then she returns to trying to quell it all and make it sound not that stupid. But at least he was honest. She was just upset, blah, blah, blah. And then she gets into talking about the woman. Stupid, man. Stupid comment.
The person laughing in the background is so very immature. This whole video speaks. You should not become a mother when your foundation is crumbling. It only hurts the kids in the end. I feel the pain of this mother, but if a man is being honest, then accept it. Everyone has the right to choose for themselves.
Why are we empathizing with the woman? Like, this woman is assaulting a dude, and nobody is. And the first thing is just empathizing with the woman who got rejected because she has a kid. Again, like this, this woman shouldn't even be caring about getting rejected because she should be with a man. You know, you go out there, you have a child, and you're a single mother now, and you're hitting the club. Like, I don't feel pain for the mother whatsoever. I think she's a complete clown. I don't understand this empathy, right? She got rejected, but the thing is, she shouldn't even be in the position to get rejected. She should be locked up in a relationship by this point, man. You know, she should be, ring on the finger type deal. It should be done and dusted. But we're out here hitting the club, and I'm supposed to feel empathy for the woman because she got rejected? Oh, hell no. Hell no, man.
And that's not what he wants. I don't think it's the kid that's the problem. It's clearly that reaction to him turning you down.
I mean, it's probably both. I mean, her reaction didn't help either, let's be real about it.
She did not want that answer. She wanted a financial solution. I think she is a bit confused, and I feel sorry for the young man who found himself in that situation, but I am glad he was able to deal with it maturely. She probably never dealt with this type of rejection, but nothing justifies this behavior. You can't put your hand on another person just because you are not what they are looking for.
You know what the crazy part is, guys, as well, is I guarantee, like, women just have this idea that physically nothing can be done to them, right? They could absolutely, if a street fight were to break out, they're just going to use their like taekwondo that they learned when they were like 10 years old, and everything's going to be fine. But the reality is, men would absolutely whoop them. Like, it would not even be close, guys. Like, it's essentially provoking a bear. Okay. One day there's going to be a dude who just retaliates. He doesn't care if the police gets called. He doesn't care if people intervene. And let me tell you, women will regret that day. I've seen video clips of this happen, guys, where women, they get up in dudes' faces, they start yelling, maybe they start having road rage or something. I saw some dude do a complete like taekwondo takedown on a woman the other day. It was the funniest crap I've ever seen. But one day, guys, the women who do this stuff, they're going to find out. They might think that they're stronger than a man and they can take him. But let me tell you, they absolutely cannot do it, right? They think that they can, but like, you could take some 15-year-old dude and he would still win. It wouldn't even be close.
How many guys has she already rejected because they didn't meet her requirements? So this is the same thing. What's the problem? He looks like a young man who is still in school and most likely doesn't have a child yet, and for some reason she doesn't agree with his preference. How can this make any sense? She knows she can still find a guy who wouldn't mind dating her even with kids, but interestingly, she wants the one who is looking for a childless woman. This is how they unnecessarily make their dating life difficult, and then get upset about their own choice. She should have accepted that he was looking for someone else and moved on as many other people would have done. But instead, she decided to challenge him on his decision. It's not personal. It's his preference, just like she has hers.
Would you date a woman with kids?
No.
And if you would,
no.
Are there limitations? Like age ranges, the amount of kids, the custody agreement?
Let me guess. This woman has a bunch of kids. They're all young, and she has 100% custody. That's my guess.
Would you date a woman with kids? And what were your parameters? So one of my biggest insecurities in the dating world, and it shouldn't be, is that I have kids.
What? No. No. It should absolutely be an insecurity that you have, madam. Right? Like, oh, I'm not ashamed of my kids, right? Like, I'm out there in the dating world. I'm not ashamed. You should be, right? We should be a little bit regretful here. I'm not going to lie. The reason why is because you shouldn't be in the dating world when you have kids. You shouldn't be. I see video clips as well of like women who are in their 50s and stuff, man. And they're sitting here and they're like, well, I'm 50 years of age and I'm out here dating. And I'm just thinking to myself, what on earth are you doing? What have you been doing? this entire time. That's like me going out here, guys, and being like, yeah, you know, I've got no job, I've got no friends, I'm overweight and so on. But you know what? Out there in the dating world, guys, I'm not ashamed. Like, the thing is, if dudes came with the same kind of crap and they brought the same kind of things to the table, at least insofar as things that women don't want, they would be told to grow up and get a job. They would be told to screw off, come back when you've got some money. You know, come back when you've got a social circle, right? Or just actively ignored. It's just funny, the difference to me, guys, is women will quite literally try and bring children to a relationship, and then they'll be like, yeah, it's not a big deal. Meanwhile, dudes, there's like a bunch of different requirements that men have to fulfill, and if you don't, then you're just actively shamed for it by other people. It's crazy, the difference to me.
I have 5 kids.
5?
Granted, 2 of them are grown.
5? Oh my goodness. How many different fathers are we talking? I wonder if she says.
I have a grandchild.
What?
So I have 3 young ones that are still in the house. 13, 10, and 4.
Oh my goodness.
And while I do have 50-50 custody, one of the questions that I seem to get a lot is, how often do you have your kids? For me, that's kind of a red flag.
There is no way, guys, this has to be a meme. It has to be like some elaborate joke. This video is AI. It's got to be an AI video. No way this woman is sitting here talking to us about red flags when she has 5 children of varying ages with who knows how many men. I don't believe it's one. I don't trust that. 5 children, varying ages, 50-50 custody. And this woman's sitting here talking to me about red flags. Madam, you are the red flag. You don't get to bring up, and her red flag that she brings up, mind you, is men asking how much time the kids spend with you. I think, isn't that a valid question? I mean, I don't think it should. I wouldn't ask these women any questions whatsoever, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not interested in dating them. But, like, is that not a valid question? I think that's a perfectly valid question.
Why would that question be a red flag when it will give the guy an idea of your availability?
Yeah, I don't know.
It would also give him the opportunity to decide whether he wants to be involved in that type of relationship. So I don't understand why she sees it as a red flag. Maybe she thinks that having a child 100% is the same as 50%, but there is a difference, and it will reflect on their relationship.
I mean, I get that you want to have alone time and you want to have time in your schedule to be able to date and things like that. But what if I didn't have 50-50? What if I had full custody of my kids? Because to me, my kids are the part of the package. If you don't love my kids as much as you love me, then it's a no-go.
I'm sorry, guys, but I don't understand this. Like, these kids are not biologically the new man's. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand this whatsoever. And also, by the way, it sounds to me like she just has 100% custody and she's lying, or at the very least, she's going to be pushing to get 100% custody soon. But this whole situation is completely screwed up, guys. Completely screwed up. So the reason why she views it as a red flag is, yes, because she says we're the whole package. But here's the thing, guys. You are not being placed as a priority in this relationship whatsoever. If you go out there and you have a relationship with a single mother, particularly one who has 5 children, she's trying to set the tone nice and early that you will not be the priority whatsoever.
If you don't want my kids around as much as you want me around, it's a no-go. So
oh
would
my
you?
Goodness. No.
Would you date somebody with kids?
Stop asking me.
I married one, raised her daughter as my own. We divorced and she no longer talks to me. The real question is, would women date a man with kids and accept them and love them as if they were their own? I did for 14 years. Never again. She cheated on me and that was the end of the relationship, and I never saw that kid ever again. Hurts too much to lose kids in that way.
See, this is the kind of stuff that I warn about on the channel, guys. Like, sacrificing years of your life to be with a woman who has children to another man, it's pretty much always going to end terribly for you. It might take a long time, it might take a short time, but you are actively getting scammed. I am not surprised. Whenever I hear stories like this, guys, of dudes who go out here and date single mothers, and then the following sentence is like, I got cheated on. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, of course. Of course you did. You know, women will paint this thing, how they're a victim and the dude cheated on them and the men are awful and there's a deadbeat dad and whatever. But let's not get confused here, guys. The women who are single mothers, excuse me, I'm losing my voice a bit here. The women who are single mothers, oftentimes they have a lot of red flags themselves. Like, they are likely going to do something bad. They're likely going to cheat on you. You know, like, it's just, I'm not surprised whenever I hear this stuff whatsoever. If I hear that the dude gets cheated on, he gets divorced, she takes the kid away from him, I'm not surprised at all. Not even in the slightest, man. This is my suggestion to men. My suggestion to men is not to date these women. Now, I'm not, you know, the men who watch this channel, I'm not their father or anything. I can't tell men what to do. It's not my job to tell guys what to do. They can do whatever the hell they want. But my recommendation would be absolutely do not do this to yourself. Wasting this much of your life for a woman who, you know, is just not the deal that you want, man. Not the deal that you want.
Done it twice. Never again. Zero benefits, all drama. I married a woman with kids. They are part and package of the deal if you want that woman.
Oh my goodness. Look at the profile picture going on. You guys can't see it. It's shocking. I'm married to a woman with children. This guy, you know, he's going to be the future. This is the previous man of the guy who made the comment about being with a woman for 14 years. This guy's going to come back in a few years. He's going to be like, well, you know, I got cheated on and she took the kids and all of this kind of stuff. And we're all going to be sitting here like, yes, man, we told you so. But hey, you wanted to make this terrible decision. You are welcome to make it, but don't be surprised if in a few years we start to see you commenting some different things.
I am 54. Adult children only. Your kids are a part of you. Any man worth anything will love your kids as...
No. Your kids are a part of you. Any man worth anything will love your kids as much as you. Guys, I'm ending the recording, okay? I can't deal with this simp nonsense. I'm not looking after kids that are not my own. I don't think that men should do it. I think that men should have more self-respect. If you want to go out there and do it, fine. But good luck to you, my friend. Good luck. Guys, we're going to be leaving it there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.
Yeah, it's once you're at that age and you got a bunch of kids, you know, there was that lady, like, she had like 7 or 8 kids from 7 or 8 different dads. So she was just running around fucking making kids and getting like, I think it's $4,000 a month in EBT. And, I mean, we're just paying for her to breed. And it's funny how when they were buying food, they were buying the most shitty food you can imagine. I mean, unhealthy shit. Jesus. I mean, I feel sorry for those kids because they're going to be raised on crap. Much like I was. But anyway, next video. Alright, so this is from Squirrel Tribe. It's 41 minutes. I'm hoping it's worth it.
Difficult because I can't get...
Says this was priceless. She was physically removed.
This thing set up. Okay, y'all, it is Wednesday. It is January 29th. I know we're a little bit crooked. It'll be perfectly fine. It's late. I'm just now able to get here to talk to you guys about numerous things. One of them, obviously, the RFK Jr. Senate hearing confirmation thing that happened today, and the Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders and how just unbelievably stupid the both of them are. Then on top of that, we have the new wildfires in, oh, guess where? North Carolina. The same places where the people have been pretty much shit out of luck for the last 4 months since Hurricane Helene. Then we also have Joy Behar talking shit about Caroline Leavitt. We have other females talking crap about Melania Trump and all kinds of random stuff. It has been a day. It has been a full 24 hours of just interesting things happening in the world. I wish I could get that to go straight. Unfortunately, it's not going to work. All right. Where to start, y'all? Let's start with number one, the fact that we're going to start with Melania Trump, just because I want to. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Melania Trump, she has her portrait is officially up in the White House. You guys have seen Donald Trump's official portrait for the White House, and he looks like a angry mofo, which was the whole point behind it, putting out that, exuding that look of FAFO, fuck around, find out kind of thing. Melania, she has her own style, her own whatever, and her portrait for the White House, this isn't the full thing, this is just the top part of it, but look how, I mean, that is elegant. I don't care what anybody says, that is elegant. Just absolutely crazy to me. This is her portrait, right? And there's a fashion writer for Vogue who is talking crap about Melania Trump's portrait, saying that it's absolute trash. This is the person who is saying that Melania Trump's portrait does not look good. Y'all, tell me you are a Democrat leftist libtard without telling me you're a Democrat leftist libtard. I mean, this whole outfit screams it to me. I know that sounds stupid, you know, that judge a book by cover, and I said never ever do it. But if you can look at Melania Trump in black and white with her classy, just everything about her is classy, and say that it looks stupid and that it's ugly and that it's not fashionable, and you look like that, that's like me sitting here talking shit about Melania Trump. Hello, I'm wearing a t-shirt and sweatpants and my hair is dirty for 3 days and my face is oily. I have no room to talk about anybody. I'm going to talk about her though, but I'm not going to say a single negative word about Melania Trump because the woman is classy and beautiful. That is that. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. And it goes along with, and we'll get to RFK Jr. in just a little bit. I have to be careful with RFK because the last time we had a conversation about him and what he stands for and why I absolutely love him and think he should be in Trump's cabinet in the form of being able to make America healthy again, YouTube took my video away. Hi, Marvin. YouTube took my video away because they don't like talking about RFK Jr. They don't like what he stands for and what he could, in theory, potentially do to disrupt everything, because that's the problem. It's not just that RFK Jr. wants to make America healthy again, it's the way he wants to go about doing it. It involves the USDA, it involves the FDA, it involves doctors' offices, it involves every single pharmaceutical company possible, it involves the way the food pyramid, like everything under the sun falls under what RFK Jr. wants to change in order to make America healthy again. And it scares the bejesus out of people who are in everything for the money. The second you start tinkering with our food chain, food supply, which is what would happen with doctors' offices and the medicines they prescribe, and then the people who make the medicines, and then all the things they put into your body that they mandate that you have before you can do this or that or that, it starts to have a monetary negative result, and that's what this is all about. The rest of the world, no, let me rephrase. The people in power don't care about making America healthy again, because if America is healthy, they're out of jobs. We don't need the doctors. We don't need the pharmaceutical companies. We don't need these other things, and that terrifies them. Like Sarah says, there's no profit in a cure. It is always profit over people. If you cure the person, you are no longer needed. But if you just kind of band-aid them or actually do things that make them worse, then you're constantly needed. And a lot of people don't realize that the things that we eat, the things that we put onto our skin, the air that we breathe, all these different things we put in our bodies in general, are what are making us sick. And then you have RFK Jr. coming along wanting to talk about it, and I have to be very careful. I get myself on a roll, and I need to stop before YouTube just stops my live stream. But the reason I brought up Melania and whoever that ugly woman was is because of Joy Behar. Y'all know I am not a fan of The View. I try not to watch The View, but I will watch clips and certain episodes depending on what it is, because I need to try to understand, although I don't want to understand, but I need to try to understand where these women are coming from when they get on there and run their mouths and speak the way they do and say the things they say, and then understand why people want to go on their show, number one, especially, and agree with them, because it doesn't make sense to me. But I don't know if you guys have seen Caroline Levitt. Let me back out of here and show you Caroline Levitt real fast. She is Donald Trump's White House press secretary. She is 27 years old, y'all. She is 27 years old. She is a new mother. She just had a baby. And she is the youngest White House press secretary we've ever had. This is Caroline Levitt and her son, okay? You can see her. She has blonde hair. She's got a tan face. She's young. She's pretty. She's smart. And if you guys happen to see the White House, the press room briefing yesterday, OMG, is she amazing. She stood at that podium where Karine Jean-Pierre stood before her, and before her that Jen Psaki, whatever the crap that redhead crackhead's name is, where they stood and needed notes and needed all kinds of stuff in order to lie to the American people, because, you know, they had to make sure they didn't mess up their script, right? But Caroline Levitt stood at that podium yesterday, and every question that was given to her, she had an answer for, and I'm pretty sure it was, I think it was Peter Doocy, I hope not, but it was somebody like him who asked her a question about illegal immigration and how President Trump said he was going to be sending back the criminals first, and so why were regular illegal immigrants sent back and not just murderers and rapists and whatever else? And Caroline Levitt, I mean, she smirked and looked at him like he was stupid, which I immediately was like, I'm not gay, but I love you. You know what I mean? She looked at him like he was stupid because, and then she said, well, he did send back criminals. If you have crossed this border illegally, that is a felon and you are a criminal. Therefore, every single person that has been deported under the Trump administration is a criminal because they are illegal. And she said, and I'm not quoting, but it's along these lines, just because the previous administration didn't understand what that meant, now you guys have to get on board with what it actually means. If you cross the border illegally, you are a criminal because it is illegal. Illegal and criminal go hand in hand with each other. Just because the last administration wanted to gloss it over and pretend like coming into this country illegally, it wasn't a felony and wasn't a criminal activity, doesn't make that right, because it is a criminal activity. But the reason we're bringing her up again, anyway, the new White House press secretary, is because Joy Behar said on The View, and I'm not going to play it because I don't want y'all to have to listen to her dumb ass talk. You're stuck with listening to my voice. You don't need hers. She said that the reason that Caroline Levitt got a job is because she's a 10, because she's pretty, that Trump only hired her because she looks good and she's young and she's blonde and she's this and she's that. And it's like, oh, ma'am. Ooh, tell me you have a hateful soul without telling me you have a hateful soul. So you're telling me, old lady, that you are pissed that somebody half your age and 10 times more attractive than you got a job that you could never in your life even think to have because you're not smart enough to be able to stand up at the podium and have conversations and answer questions without the notes. Okay, cool. Got it. Joy Behar is trash. That is it. That is all. Now, I can understand where she's coming from. Let me just explain. I am 43 and I live at the beach and I do not, have a 21-year-old's body. And when it's summertime and I'm out at the beach and I see these little girls, 19, 20, 21, who have never even thought of a stretch mark in their life, never popped out a baby, never emotionally ate or had stress or menopause or any of that stuff, and they are just absolutely tiny in their floss bikinis, my first thought is, die, bitch. And then I'm like, no, stop. That's the insecurity and the jealousy talking. Reel it back in and be like, girl, you look good. Wait till you have a baby. At least go that route with it. But Joy Behar is just a hateful woman no matter what. Like, I doubt she even has a thought in her head where she goes, I probably shouldn't have said that. I should probably apologize. It's not her fault she's prettier than I am. It's not her fault she's in a better shape than I am. It's not her fault she's younger than I am. I don't think she ever has those types of thoughts, and that's what makes her human garbage. So I just want to bring that up. I am not going to watch Caroline Levitt and have any thought about, not wanting to listen to her because of how pretty she is, or not want to listen to her because she's younger than me. That makes absolutely no sense. The woman is smart. At 27 years old, to be able to stand up as the White House press secretary and answer every single question that is directed at her with knowledge, not some BS she pulled out her ass like KJP, not some lie that she's going to give to them. When one of the reporters asked her, or the journalist, well, I don't know what we're supposed to call them at this point, one of them asked her something along the lines of, are you going to tell us the truth or something? And I'm trying to remember exactly how it went down. Something along the lines, are you going to tell us the truth? And she said to him, she goes, well, you guys are the ones lying to everybody. You're the mainstream media. I'm just going to tell you exactly what's happening. It's pretty much, along the lines of, she was saying, it's how you guys turn around and give it to the world that are the lies, not what you're going to hear from me. And I was like, oh, girl, I just want to hug you because, again, not gay, but I think I love you. She's absolutely amazing. Now, let's get to some other stuff. We're going to get to RFK Jr. It will be a little bit later on, just FYI. If you're waiting around for that, it's going to be a second. Got to do him at the end because I want to talk about these other things first. One of them being, you guys saw how Donald Trump was like, you know what we're going to do just for a little bit? We're going to stop all federal aid and everything that's going on, money going out, all this other stuff. And then everybody got all like really scared and pissed off and whatever else. And now you have a bunch of libtards making TikTok videos crying because their food stamps are this and their their SNAP benefits and whatever else. And it's like, you guys are making these videos and none of those things have been affected. So I'm not quite sure why you're crying. But then you have other countries who are like, well, what about the money you're giving us? What about the aid you're giving us? What about the whatever? And it's like, you do realize that as the United States of America, we don't have to give you shit. Just because the previous president was continuously giving our money away to other countries does not mean that this president needs to follow suit. The reason Donald Trump said, let's pause everything. Well, technically, I think he had Marco Rubio do it. Is that who did it? I feel like it was Marco Rubio. He had everything paused is because you have to check and see what's going on. You can't just take over. Think about it this way. You get hired to do a new job, and in that job, you have taken over for somebody else. You don't go in and just start your day off and start moving forward without finding out what happened back here. If you have a budget, you have to figure out what this person has done with the budget. You have to figure out how they have it set up for the rest of the year since you're the one taking over. It makes perfect sense for Trump to come through and say, hold on, let's pause this for a second. I need to look this shit over to make sure that the money that's supposed to be going out is going out for the right reasons, to the right places, to the right people, in the right amounts, at the right time frames. You know what I mean? So he does this, and then of course everybody's all up in see, this is what the crap. I forgot to mute this thing, and I feel like if I do it now, let's see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, yeah, y'all, I can't figure this thing out with the iPhone to make it not pause the live stream. It's beyond absolutely annoying. And then once it goes up after the live stream, it doesn't do any of that. So people watching the video have no clue what's going on while I'm sitting here running my mouth about how stupid iPhones are. Where were we? See, that's a damn thing about this. Oh, you have to, as the president, put a pause on it and see exactly what's going on. Oh, so now there's no sound? This is just great. Y'all, do we just stop? What do we do? Some people have sound, some people don't. We're just gonna keep going and whatever. But this iPhone's probably going back to AT&T, just FYI, because this stuff is pissing me off. All right, let's continue on. As I was saying, the fact that Trump put a pause on federal aids, grants, all this other stuff, people have a problem with it, but the same people have a problem with it. If Biden had done it, wouldn't have an issue. If they weren't the ones receiving the money, they probably didn't have an issue. All the people who were flipping out are people who were getting free money from the country, and they wanted that to continue on. They know that Donald Trump putting a pause in it is going to possibly stop them from getting their money. So I just want to play this for you because this is from This is from, who is this from? This is, pause, fat fingers. This is the president, former president of Kenya. And I just want you guys to hear what he has to say.
People the other day crying, oh, I don't know, Trump has removed money. He said he's not giving us any more money. Watu wanalia. Why are you crying? It's not your government, it's not your country. He has no reason to give you anything. I mean, you don't pay taxes in America. He is appealing to his people. Shauri yenu bwana. This is a wake-up call for you to say, okay, what are we going to do to help ourselves? Instead of crying.
That is what it comes down to. You have the former president of Kenya, who is smarter, it seems, than half the, not even half, a good amount of the American population. And he's like, they don't owe you anything. So all these other countries that are pissed off that Trump put a pause in it because they wanted their money back, it's like, but you don't give taxes to the United States. So why should the United States give you taxpayers' money as a whatever else? Absolutely crazy to me that somebody from a completely different country can understand that and nobody else can. So that, I thought that was interesting, so I wanted to bring it to your attention. Now, the other thing that we have here, there's a fire in Old Fort, North Carolina, which is an area, like I said, that was already devastated by the Hurricane Helene months and months and months ago. And it says the fire is currently at 150 acres and 0% contained. This was from just about 40-something minutes ago. You guys can see the fire back there. And this happens to be literally a day after all the dump trucks started showing up. Now that Donald Trump and Melania were there on Friday, I believe it was, they went to North Carolina on Friday. They had a very busy Friday. So they left D.C., went to North Carolina, went to LA, then went to Las Vegas and were hanging out at the craps table, and then ended up in Miami. Like, that man has way more stamina than I do. That's all I'm going to say. Him and his wife. They are in their older years. Like, I don't know how old Melania is. I know Donald is late 70s, right? Melania, I'm not quite sure how old she is. But either way, they have more stamina than I do at 43. I'm like, I need to get on whatever y'all are on because y'all are good. But either way, this fire, it's like, really? We have the fires in California, and you want to tell me that on the complete opposite coast, you've gone from West Coast to East Coast, and now fires are breaking out in the exact same areas that are finally starting to get some help, thanks to, once again, Donald Trump going there on Friday and telling these people to get their ass in gear. You have the new director of FEMA, Melania's 54. Okay. You have the new director of FEMA, who is, this is another video. This is from, go, fat fingers, stop. Yo, I don't, no, iPad's just going to freeze all the way up. This is an Apple thing or I don't know what's happening. Look, I'm like, nothing's working. I just want to throw it at the window, which is not the right way to do this. Just, no, okay. And I love, because what's going to happen when this is all said and done and this goes up as regular video after the live stream is done, people are going to be like, I wish you'd get your shit together before you start live streaming. Trust me, I wish I could too. I have no idea what's happening here. And the live stream, things are going to go crazy no matter what. It is a live stream. I could record, but it's way more fun to live stream and just see what's going to happen. And it will not let me out of this on X. What is going on here? Like, it will not let me leave this screen on X. I've closed it out twice. Let's try this again, y'all. Hello? Nothing? What is happening here? I don't even know how to get out of this. Like, it's not letting me go anywhere. Is anybody here good with technology and can tell me why I can't back out, pause, play, fast forward, do anything to get out of this app? I've closed it twice. Well, that's going to mess up the rest of this live stream. Y'all, it is a Wednesday. Did I say it was Thursday earlier? I don't know. It's Wednesday, and it feels like the most Monday's Monday ever. Just FYI. So, as I was saying, there are videos of 100 dump trucks in North Carolina ready to get rid of debris, get rid of everything else. And the second they all show up, suddenly there's a fire. Suddenly there's a fire over 150 acres. And I might say turn this off and back on. That's Siri. Let's see if that'll work. There's a fire over 150 acres. That's not working. What is... Apple, you're starting to piss me off. Okay, slide to power off. Let's see if this works. Control-Alt-Delete. Or just throw this shit out in the parking lot and let somebody run it over. That might be the next option. The fire there, there's no way they're going to say it's a natural fire or a wildfire. It had to have been a set fire because the weather there is not hot. The ground is not dry. It being a natural thing makes absolutely no sense at all. So I'm going to guarantee that they're going to find out that it was arson, just like LA is arson. You are not going to convince me at all that any of those fires were natural. Every single one of those little mofos was man-made for sure. All right, so we're back in. Let's see. Y'all cross your fingers with me, please, to make sure to see if this works. If this pulls up the same effing video, I'm going to lose my ever-loving shit. Please hold. We're working. Let's see what's happening here. It's doing something. Something's happening. I don't know what's happening. We're just black screening it over here. Okay. Cool. Fun times. Yay, and we're back. I'm not even gonna click that video. The one I was gonna show you, just mentally picture a bunch of dump trucks in North Carolina, because I'm not gonna click it again. Obviously it was glitchy and we're not doing it. So hopefully that gets contained and it doesn't spread the way the one in LA or Pacific Palisades spread. Hopefully that is contained soon, because they definitely do not need more issues in North Carolina in that area. Okay, we're just gonna go like this. I'm not gonna click on it. So this is the fire truck. They're headed towards the fire. You can't really see it, but they're headed towards the fire right now that's over there in North Carolina. There's some of the smoke at the very top of the screen. You guys can see that there. That's that. The dump trucks. Nope, that's not it. I was trying to find the dump trucks to show you guys. Oh, Tim Walls. Jeez. Okay, here's the dump truck one. I'm not going to click on any of these things anymore. But all of those showed up in the last 24, 48 hours to get things going for the people in North Carolina. And now suddenly you have a fire. Feels real convenient, I guess is the word we're going to go with. Feels very, very convenient for that to be the case right now. I don't believe any of it. When fires are happening now, I don't believe any of it. All right, let's get back to the other thing. Hold on. No, that's not it. So we'll do Tim Walls on a completely different one, because that one's going to be huge. Let's talk about chemical castration, mental community. Okay, we can't do that one. Hold on, I'm trying to get to the other stuff that matters. Browse break, harbor, alien snow, and I don't think we ever talked about it. It was a huge thing, but I don't think I ever talked about it, or we had this conversation how Donald Trump pulled us out of the World Health Organization, and people are like, oh no, he has to be in there. The World Health Organization is a huge deal. It's how we know how to prepare for pandemics and, all this other stuff. We don't need to be in the World Health Organization. At no point in time do we need to be in the World Health Organization. That's my personal opinion on that. And so he has pulled out of it. And now, breaking, I'm going to destroy this person's name. It's not on purpose. Giorgia Meloni, her party, Brothers of Italy, have put forward a bill to follow Trump and withdraw from the WHO, the World Health Organization. The West is rejecting globalism. So there will be more countries that are going to go the same route, who are finally able to sack up because somebody else did it first. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. You're in a situation, and somebody said Kenya withdrew as well. I hope they did. You're in a situation where you want to say something, you want to step up, you want to do something, but you're also kind of scared to be the first. A lot of people don't like to be the first in anything. Nobody wants to be the one to raise their hand to read in class. You don't want to be the first in line to go do something. You don't want to be the first, right? So you wait, hoping somebody else will do it so that you don't feel so scared or so bold if you do it. it helps it when there's more than one. So for Donald Trump to take the United States of America out of the World Health Organization, it gives these other countries who have been on the brink of it or have wanted to do it but were scared to do it because how would they be looked at? What would the other countries think? It comes down to stuff like that. Whether you want to think about it this way or not, everything is a popularity contest and everybody wants to be liked. It's the same thing with countries and leaders. Nobody wants to be the one that nobody likes. Nobody wants to be the one that people make fun of. What's his name? Macron or whatever the crap he is, the one that's married to the ET looking lady dude. And then Trudeau, the soy boy up in Canada. Nobody wants to be the first. But Donald Trump is like, F all y'all, I don't care. We're not going to do this. And he pulls out of the who. And now you have other countries that are like, well, if Big Daddy over there did it, I'm on board too. Let's go. Because all they needed was the first person who had the brass balls to do it. And of course, Donald J. Trump has brass balls. And he did. And so now other countries are following suit. And I'm curious how the World Health Organization is going to respond. They made a whole entire video about how the United States pulling out's a horrible idea and they really need them. But you know why they need them? Money, honey, because it always comes down to the money. You have us pulling out of the World Health Organization, it's going to change how much money goes into their pockets, their coffers. Then it changes what happens with our pharmaceutical companies and medical companies and whatever else. And again, that's money that's all circulating in between hands there. They don't care about us. They don't care about you. They care about their money. On top of that, like I told you, the USDA and the FDA, we've talked about this before, and with RFK Jr. hopefully being confirmed with in his position as the, I can't remember the name of it, the health secretary of whatever else, instead of it being that guy in a dress with long hair, the Rachel Levine, I think it is, that her face, his face, its face, whatever you call it, reminds me of Penguin from the original Batman, you know, the one that matters with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, although Michael Keaton turns out to be like such a libtard, it's ridiculous. Anyway, that person reminds me of that. RFK Jr. going in there, he's going to have a lot to do with the USDA and the FDA, right? Well, the USDA, the general inspector of the USDA, was literally physically removed from her office for defying Trump's dismissal order. This is her. And this is going to sound racist, and it's not meant to be at all, but I'm just be prepared for what I'm about to say. This was the lady who was the general inspector for the USDA. Now, I don't know how long Inspector General Phyllis K. Fong has been the Inspector General for the USDA, but I do know that over the last 4 years, our food supply has had a lot of issues that it did not have previously. Now, we could blame that on the fact that a lot of companies, Tyson Food being one of them specifically, were firing or letting go or laying off American citizens in order to hire illegal immigrants or H-1B visa workers or people who had temporary work permits to come here to the United States and work under the Joe Biden administration. And these same people were going in and getting paid the least and not getting benefits and none of this other stuff. So what did they care if they weren't doing their job correctly or cleanly or really paying attention to stuff? And we've had a lot of issues in our food industry the last few years. And that falls under the USDA and the FDA. The two of them, though, do not have any say over what happens to the animals while they're on the farms, only once they get to the packaging and to the grocery stores and other stuff. Again, I told you guys about this yesterday, but there is a documentary called Poisoned. You need to watch it just for the information of how the USDA and the FDA run, because it's very eye-opening to a lot of things, which is why if you can buy from small farms, do so. If you can buy organic, do so. If you can buy grass-fed, grass-finished, definitely do so. There's reasons behind all of this, right? But this woman had to be physically removed, and I don't know how you apply for that job if you're like, hey, Donald Trump, if you need a physical remover on your staff, I'll be your girl. I'll do it. I'll physically remove somebody, because that just sounds like a really fun way to get your aggression out at the end of the day, right? But for her to have to be physically removed was very crazy to me. The one person I expected to be physically removed from anything was Elizabeth Warren today during the Senate committee hearing for RFK Jr., because she is batshit crazy, and she doesn't know it. That's what makes her scary, because she doesn't know she's batshit crazy. Those are those women that you're told to watch out for, fellas. Your mom's like, or your dad is like, or your friends are like, hey, watch out for the ones with the crazy eyes. What they meant are lefties. Watch out for the lefties, those crazy eyes, the ones who are just like constantly, that hurts. The ones whose eyes are constantly bugging out and who make these faces like, because that's Elizabeth Warren all day long. She is so mad because RFK Jr. said he wants to go after pharmaceutical companies. He wants to hold them liable. And she's like, but that'll bankrupt them. Okay, and I'm sorry, I don't see the problem here. Oh, wait, how many kickbacks do you get for being on some board for one of the pharmaceutical companies? What kind of money do you get? Like, let's look at it this way, completely different way. I am trying to get homeowners insurance currently for the house that we had our offer accepted on. Remember I told you guys about it? I'm so excited. I'm trying to get homeowners insurance. And so I reach out to 4 or 5 different places and I say, can I get a quote, please? And so I get a quote on this homeowners insurance. And I'm like, this is a great quote. I love it. Let me go with that. So I send it to my loan officer and I'm like, you two get together and figure this stuff out. Then the homeowner's insurance guy sends me a new quote. He goes, oh, once we put into this other information, the price kind of went through the roof. So here's a new quote. I've changed a couple things, whatever. And I start looking, and not only did he change a couple of the monetary amounts, he changed the company that he originally gave us the quote through. And I'm thinking to myself, why would you do that? Because the other one was only like $100 more. And I'm like, oh, wait, is this that bait and switch? Do you get a kickback from this other company that you're trying to slide in under the radar at the last second? Because that's how companies work. You have so many people out there who come at you like they have the best intentions for you, like they're doing everything they can to get you the best whatever, whether it's the best drug, the best doctor, the best insurance, the best whatever, and then you're on board with everything they've been telling you, and at the very last second, switcheroo, because that switcheroo is where they get their money from. Elizabeth Warren is going to sit here and tell you that she's a whatever she is for the people, and she wants, everything she's doing is to make sure you guys are good and you're good and you're good, but then she puts through, or she puts like I don't even know the words, she does something that then at the end of the day benefits her pocket and some company more than it benefits the people. So for Elizabeth Warren to lose her ever-loving mind during this Senate confirmation hearing thingy for RFK Jr. over the pharmaceutical companies being held accountable for what happens to people physically due to their pharmaceuticals, that says to me that she's got her hand in some of those companies and it's going to affect her pocket, and that's why she has a problem. Same reason why Democrats did not want to get rid of illegal immigrants, even though they are the ones that were being deported are murderers and rapists and whatever. Why they voted against the Lake and Riley Act, which Donald Trump just signed into law. So there's that. But you vote against the things that are the best for the people when they're the best for your pocket. And that is not the kind of person that we should have working for us, the people, in any form of government. Government officials seem to have forgotten that they work for us, not the other way around. They don't work for pharmaceutical companies. They don't work for manufacturers. They don't work for food companies. They don't work for any of these people. They work for us. But once they get into these positions of power, people have a tendency to just kind of forget about it, and then they start doing all these dumb things. The next thing you know, you have Elizabeth Warren screaming at RFK Jr. because he wants to hold people accountable for the things that they do. You should always be held accountable for the things that you do. Elizabeth Warren should be held accountable. I should be held accountable. Donald Trump should be held accountable. The pharmaceutical company should be. If you are doing something that is harming people in general, you should be held accountable, no matter who or what you are. And for somebody who's supposed to have the best interest at heart of the people, she clearly does not. Elizabeth Warren is absolute trash. She said it herself. Let's see. Look. Please hold.
Profitable. In fact, he may have the opportunity to bankrupt the vaccine manufacturers, and then nobody gets vaccine.
Here's the thing. Think about it this way. If he has the ability to bankrupt the vaccine manufacturers, you know what that means? That those manufacturers have done so many negative things that they have to pay out to people that it bankrupts them. Think about that. I don't know how to phrase that to where it makes sense, but you know what I mean. If you didn't do anything wrong, it couldn't bankrupt you, right? Isn't that how it works? They're not going to come after you if you've done nothing wrong. They can't hold you accountable if you've done nothing wrong. However, if you've done something wrong and it bankrupts you, That sounds like a you problem, right? Right. Then people are talking about how RFK Jr., wants to do away with vaccines. That's what they're saying. But then he had to clarify he wasn't talking about polio or measles, I believe, because these are ones that have been around long enough, and I believe he is even saying have been proven to actually be effective, but other ones there's issues with. I don't really want to get into that completely because, again, they took down my last video completely when I tried to have this conversation on YouTube because they don't want people being informed about things that have to do with their health and their bodies and stuff like that. So I have to do it over on X or Patreon. Both are free. So I'll do that deeper dive into that later on. But at the end of the day, this man is going to make America healthy again, whether the manufacturers want it, the food industry wants it or not. It is what is necessary. And Donald Trump is not run by or bought off by the pharmaceutical companies or the food manufacturers. If he was, we would have figured that out the first 4 years he was in office, right? So that's what I've got on that. Side note, Elon Musk has been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize for protecting free speech. That's because of X, the platform, Twitter, that he bought. And so there's that. And then on side note, Governor Pritzker, the short fat round in Illinois, is now allowing illegals to change their names to avoid ICE. Yeah. So there's that. Wow. Not only do you have that, you have this teacher in, I believe it's Mobile, Alabama, who she called herself the mother of exiles. She was placed on leave after sending an unauthorized email to students containing a guide on how to avoid ICE because of deportations, right? The email included instructions to text the teacher if ICE agents show up anywhere and to falsely notified parents that they would not be penalized if they kept their children at home, meaning if they didn't send their kids to school because they were worried about ICE showing up at the school, that they could keep their kids at home and it would be fine. The parents wouldn't get in trouble and the kids wouldn't get in trouble. Well, that's not the case. If you don't send your kids into school, CPS, Child Protective Services, and police officers will show up at your house. If you don't send your kids into school, the kids will fall behind, obviously, is what they're saying. But the school stated that they would follow all federal mandates and would cooperate with federal agents if they showed up on campus. The problem here is you have this teacher sending these things out. This is that same kind of teacher who is probably trying to convince these illegal immigrant little boys that they could be little girls, that they could pretend, teach them English and pretend like they're not illegal so that they can stay and just, it's crazy to me where we are. There's another teacher who, I don't remember where it was. I was going to do a whole video about this later, but we'll just jump into it real quick. She's an elementary school teacher. She had over 100 kids at her house, and they had to call the police and the ambulance because one of the kids got alcohol poisoning because they were being given alcohol. 100 elementary school children at this principal or teacher's house. My first question is, the hell kind of parents are taking their elementary school age kids to this principal's house and just leaving them there? No. You know what I've never done with my child? Taken her to somebody's house and just left them there. If there was birthday parties, guess who hung around? Me. You can call me helicopter, you can call me whatever you want, but my child has been safe for 15 years. These parents that are dropping their kids off and just leaving them, ugh. Like, I'm not saying anything about how you parent. Like, if y'all happen to be that kind of parent, you do you, boo. But that shit does not fly in my house. I need to know exactly what is happening with my child at all times. And until she's 18, I will know exactly what is happening with my child at all times. I've got her on Live 360. I have a tracker on her little ass because she is 15 and her friends might be stupid at some point in time. I pay attention to everything. I have all her passwords. I take her phone on a daily basis to check it. I look at what she Googles on the computer at home. I look at what she watches on any streaming app because it is my job as a parent to make sure her as a child is safe and taken care of. She can dislike me one day if she wants to. Did you make it to adulthood safe and sound? Yeah, then I did my job. Dislike me all you want, right? The parents that are willy-nilly with their children are ridiculous to me. I don't understand it, but that's just me. Principal and third grade teacher is what Kathy is saying, so I think that's what you're talking about. That woman, if I had been a parent and I had realized that she was giving my child alcohol, that woman would have ate her teeth. She'd been shitting out crowns for a week or whatever all those little teeth are in the back. I don't know what they're called. She would have been Anyway, it would not have been good. Here's the Elizabeth Warren face I was telling you about. The eyes never lie. Look at those eyes. Crazy. She's crazy. She's crazy, y'all. Anyway, listen. We talked about everything. We talked about Melania, Joy, Caroline Levitt, RFK. Got some Elon information in there, some North Carolina information in there. Then everything spazzed out for a minute because Apple sucks. I think that's about it because it's getting dark now, and I have a ton more, but we're going to do that tomorrow. We're going to have a conversation about this raging piece of trash right here tomorrow. Please come back for that conversation tomorrow. Please. It has to do with parenting as well. So if you are a shitty parent, maybe don't come back because you're not going to like anything I have to say because I will drag you tomorrow. I think that's it. Oh, let's leave on this note. From 4004 BC to 2020 AD, we had 2 genders, okay? From 2021 AD to 2024 AD, we had 73. But now, 2025 to at least the next 4 years, we're back to 2 genders. Just FYI. Just wanted to share that with you guys in case you were curious. Men and women. That is all. Everything else is just make-believe and whatever. It's men and it's women. Yeah, that's it. I love y'all immensely. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little while. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to maybe go back to the other phone tomorrow for a live stream if possible because this Apple thing is really pissing me off. If not, I'm going to try to return it. That's probably what's going to happen. Okay, that's all. I love y'all. Thank you for hanging out for everything that was going on. Y'all are the best.
Wow, this lady's pretty intense, isn't she? Okay. Well, it's an hour and 21 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and play one more video, and then hopefully I'll finish this, and we'll just do that. Anyway, one thing I wanted to check, I've been keeping tabs on my reputation levels on Rishi. I have 4272 I can add to there. Because you have limits, you have weekly limits on how many points you can make per reputation. That's why, you know, this thing is giving me some reputation points, and then you just want to add it as you go.
In our compound. But since you're here, let's see what you're made of.
Shit, I should have started the video. Okay. Let me go ahead.